Hello, I think we're live. Let me just quickly check if my audio and video is good. Yes, we're. Hi, how's it going? Yes, we are late as usual because it is Karki Murgi. And of course, when it's Karki Murgi, I have to be late. Yeah, I had couple of things to take care of, and I always put this on the back burner. All right. I got a few messages from you guys. You wanted to be a part of this conversation today, but unfortunately you had work to do, or you have kids to feed, or there's something that you have planned for the evening. I'm so sorry that you can't be a part of this, but you can watch this at a later time and leave us comments. And when you leave us comments, I will leave a comment back to you. So we'll have that conversation in the comment section. So if you can't watch it live. All right, so I'm going to bring Pavan into the screen. We're going to do that. Yeah, those dramatics are also important. Thank you, Ollie. So what's up, homie?
Namaskaram. Ela unnaru?
Hello, Naru. Bagananu. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you did say it well.
Good.
Chango.
All right. So Pavan, why are you not dressed in your sherwani? Like you said, you're going to be dressed in sherwani.
Yeah, because I was told it was too cheesy.
You're not supposed to reveal everything. Last show that we did, I was watching it, and then there were a couple things that you said, and I had to think back to it later. I'm like, why did he say everything? Like, why does he not have a filter?
Yeah, we are talking with each other. Who else is watching? It's a conversation between you and me.
Yeah,
you are saying that as if a lot of people are going to watch this. Is it recorded and is it on internet? Will it be on internet?
Is it permanent? Like,
will it be on internet? You talk as if this is going to be on internet.
And 1,500 people are going to watch it? Oh my
God.
No.
Joking. You're joking.
You're joking.
We are talking with each other.
Yeah. We don't talk with each other. This is how we talk with each other normally. We don't sit down.
What are you on about? You talk as if it's like there are 1,000 people going to watch this and say that, oh, is Pavan an idiot? Why would he say all these things?
You look like you're looking somewhere else and not looking at me. What's going on with that?
It's like, who else is going to watch this? It's like I'm looking at all the internet audience who is going to watch.
You're not looking at me. It looks so awkward. You're looking somewhere else. Like, I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, the problem is the StreamYard, as I've been complaining to you, it flips it mirror flips it. So if I'm looking at you, it looks on the cover. This is how it flips.
StreamYard.
So I have to look on that side to see. Look east and it looks west. If am I looking at you? I'm looking somewhere else.
You're looking somewhere else now. You need to look in the center. See, Sonia says she's watching you, and so is Ash, and so is sorry guys, it's hard for me to scroll up and down. Sonia's watching you, Surchi's watching you, Anusha's watching you, but you're not looking at them. You're looking somewhere else. See, now you're looking at them.
Okay.
This is it. Yes, the alien eyes. Now you're looking at them. All right. Now I think man, it takes us like 10 minutes to get an order here. Like, yeah. You look like you just rolled out of bed, though. Just so you know.
Who is it on? Are we telecasting on internet? This one? I thought you would say this in when I'm not doing anything. You say that as if people are watching us, right? Did you say that? Or?
I don't know. It doesn't. It never feels like it. Whenever I'm doing this, like whenever we're chatting, it's always like I feel I'm in an empty room, sitting here talking to a screen. It doesn't feel real. People are apparently warmed up for the stories, man. So let's get into it.
Talking about getting watched, I haven't been so nervous. The only two places where I was so nervous that I had a nervous background was my PhD thesis defense and my wedding day. The wedding day, I was so nervous. I didn't even know. Like I was not there. Like I holy crap, man! That was so nervous there.
Yes.
Like,
Was it nervous? Was it nervous because of it was like an entirely different culture? Like it is, the ceremonies are something you probably have never been a part of, or were you nervous
Well, I
just?
haven't been married before, so I wouldn't know.
No, I mean you've been to weddings, which are South Indian weddings, but you've never been to a Sikh
Yeah,
wedding,
but
or
how would I know? How would I know what? Even in the wedding, yeah, I don't really know about that. But it was very nerve wracking. It was very
what was
very nerve.
what was the nerve wracking part? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like that's what
Yeah,
I'm.
I think it is the nerve-wracking part is being part of something totally foreign and not really understanding what the nuances, right? You would understand the broad picture, but there are so many nuances. How how you had to yank my this thing the thing to walk slow.
I mean, we'll get to it.
Yeah, so there are many things which was like really like what if I f up here? Like what would happen? There was so much writing on those that few moments.
We had a Sikh wedding. I
Yeah,
wish we had put up pictures that I could have just inserted in here. I don't have those pictures right now, but maybe I'll look when you're talking. So we had a Sikh wedding where this was in India too, and we had it in Ludhiana because Pavan's parents could not come to Canada, so we had to do the wedding in India. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to have a Sikh wedding in Hyderabad or in Nellore. And I wanted a Sikh wedding because that's what I wanted. So we did the wedding in Ludhiana, and his family flew down, all 11 of them
flew up.
flew up actually. His family flew from south to north, so they flew up. Technically, that's not correct. Yeah, well, it's not
If you
up.
have to fly down, you fly down south. You fly up
Yeah,
north.
on a map, like on a flat map.
Yeah, north is always up.
Yeah, on a flat map or
Yeah,
on a globe, but not
yeah.
in real, like in real life. It could
Well, if you have to fly down, you have to go fly up first, right?
because the Great Circle. All right. So his family flew up from south to the north. They came from Andhra Pradesh to Punjab, and that was my first introduction to them. I hadn't met them before. This is like I maybe saw pictures, not even pictures. I don't think I'd seen pictures. All 11 of them. So his mom, his dad, his sisters, brother-in-law, their child, and then your mom's sisters, and yeah,
Cousins. Yeah.
cousins. They came up. So it was 11 people that came to the wedding. I remember it so vividly. And but I was in my comfort zone and you weren't.
No.
Yeah, he was not in his comfort zone at that time. And I was fully in my comfort zone because I was in Ludhiana, I was in Punjab, and I was, we were having our wedding. And I recall you said nervous, but you were, when Pavan doesn't talk, that means Pavan is out of his element. Because Pavan always talks. So when Pavan is not talking, it means he's uncomfortable to some degree. So Pavan was not talking. So the entire, I remember like when they did the ribbon cutting thing, you didn't know what to do. You didn't know whether to give them money, and you
And
got.
what to do, and you got really mad that I'm a conjuice. It's like I really, what's there about being a conjuice? Like you put money in one side of a pocket and you put money in the other side of a pocket. I didn't know what to do, when to do, and one of your sisters stuffed laddu so much that I was choking, and all of it, and you got mad that, yeah, why are you being a conjuice? It's like so many emotions. Like I'm having a near-death experience while being called a conjuice, not understanding the language, and all of these emotions started, and then not able to speak at the same time because there
Because
was
you were
I was
echoing about.
choking. So all of this mixed up and trying to go somewhere where I'm not supposed to do what's happening. That's where you get real nervous, right? This is a very 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 natural reaction to get nervous when you're about to die on your wedding day, doing something which you like to do, eating sweets. And at that moment, I wouldn't expect someone be calling you are a miser, you are not giving money to my sisters. It's like, yeah, I'm dying, what should I do right now?
that was the beginning of our wedding ceremony. And then we went into the wedding part where we did the fere. And when we're doing the fere, Pavan didn't know how fast he needs to walk or what the speed he has to go at because he's never been a part of a Sikh wedding. And then he doesn't know how long the first fere is going to be. When they read the verse out, he doesn't know how long it's going to be. So
I wanted to get it done. I didn't.
So Pavan was running. He was literally like, it was a sprint for him. So he started running around Guru Granth Sahib. And then I'm behind him, like I'm holding that palla.
And then you yanked it as if like you would Basanti, like Basanti would yank the dhanno, right? Yanked it, and then I had like almost a sudden break, and I almost fell, and I was about to die, and as well about smash my face in front of everyone. So
So I was controlling him from behind with the palla. So I'm like,
chal dhanno, chal. यूं ही मैं इतनी बात नहीं करती हूँ यूं
Yunti, whatever. So basically that defined our relationship right then. Is when Pavan is trying to go around Guru Granth Sahib, he's like rushing. He's like, okay, I've got to finish this, man. Like maybe I just need to sprint around it. So I'll finish, like I'll do the 4 rounds and I'm done and I'm out of here. That's what was going on in his head, right? And then I'm like, I'm controlling him from behind. I'm like, okay, slow down, yo. And I'm pulling onto the palla. And then he's like looking around like a headless chicken. What did I do wrong now? What did I do? What am I supposed to do? And then we finished that first verse somehow, the lam, and we came and maybe we should have rehearsed, but we didn't rehearse. We didn't have time.
Well, I flew in the night before, so there was no time.
Yeah, there was no time. You flew in a couple of nights, one night before. But anyways, so there was no time for rehearsal. There was no time for him knowing what to do. So it was like on the job, like we do these lives, on the job, no rehearsing. And then the second lam happened, third lam happened, fourth lam. The entire time I had to guide him from the back. Whenever he was going too slow, I would pull him back and he would slow down. And then he would really slow down. And then I'd be like, ksh, ksh.
You should have kicked me. That would have been the next thing. So that's what you do to the horse, right? You poke.
And then while we were doing llama, I was like, slow down, faster, slower, faster, slower. And we somehow managed. And that's actually great, though, that we managed it. No one knew. No one could tell. No one could tell.
They didn't see me falling down and breaking my mouth? No. Oh, good.
No. So our chemistry was fabulous from the get-go.
Yeah.
And me in control was working then, and it's working now. So I think we did very well.
Yeah. Well-oiled machine. That's what it is, right? If the machine works once, it will work forever.
What are you looking at again? I still don't know what were you looking. Here.
Look at the camera. Yeah.
Now I see you.
So if Basanti is working one day, Dhanno with Dhanno.
You're all right. So that was the beginning. Arvind wants to know if I like South Indian food. I'll get to the food in a second here. But yeah, so how did it start? I met Pavan in university, and I've always been fascinated with South India. So I think that was partly the reason why I started talking to him. And but once we started talking, we couldn't stop talking. I think that was the base of our relationship. Is we talked a lot because we got along, and I couldn't find anybody else in Canada or in the university who I could relate to, because I have lived in India part of my life, and I moved here when I was in my early teens, and he represented India for me as well. Like he knew the Indian stories, and then Pavan knew, was as Canadian as anyone else too at the same time. Were we in the same class? No, we were not. He was doing his PhD. I was in my BSc. So it was like, yeah, there's a difference. All right. So I met him and we talked a lot. And I remember that I hadn't met you in person. We were introduced by a friend over the phone because I wanted to be a part of an organization. And then Pavan and me chatted on the phone for 3 hours the first time we talked, because he had a lot to say and I had a lot to ask. So we talked. I was cleaning up my room and I was talking to him the entire 3 hours. I don't know how it flew by. And then I saw you in university, but I didn't know it was you. I had a feeling it was you. And then I called you later and asked you, was that you? And you said, yes, that was me who walked by. And he's like, I thought that was you too. That was like before internet, before we could creep up on people. We didn't know what each other person looked like. So I don't know, like I had that feeling that was him and he had that feeling that was me. So that was kind of cool. That was a Bollywood moment. But other than that, it was pretty boring. Do you want to add something?
No, it was that's I remember that very starkly too. So that moment that I thought it was you, so and we both knew it was you and me. So that was very 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 touching moment.
Yeah. So I don't know a lot of, well, at that time at least, I didn't know anybody who was marrying a South Indian or a North Indian marrying a South Indian. Whether couples that I did know, there was a Punjabi guy who married a South Indian girl, but not the other way around. Like I didn't know any Punjabi girl.
Jasprit Bumrah married a South Indian.
Well, yeah, that's now. Abhishek Bachchan married Aishwarya Rai, so that was a month after we got married.
Yeah.
They've been copying our trend for. Yeah, they copied us for Arohi as well. They had a daughter after we had a daughter. It was all planned. So Suruchi is one of my friends here in Calgary, and she was one of the first ones I met who is North Indian, and she married a Telugu guy as well. So she had a South Indian wedding, and being a North Indian, it was also confusing. It took a couple of days for me to convince myself that I'm now married. I can understand your situation.
Yeah. So about convincing whether you're married or not. So in that hotel, the evening where the vidai used to happen, or after the vidai happened, we were staying in a hotel, and I wanted to know where you were. So I was trying to ask, like, you had to gone down or something in the hotel we were staying, and then I went to the reception and I didn't know how to address you.
I had that too. Like when I had to say my husband, I'm like, what? Like,
I didn't know how to address you. Like, should I call you my friend?
I said friend too. I said friend to the guy. I'm looking for my friend. Have you seen my friend? And the guy goes, what do you mean your friend? And I was wearing like the entire, like the outfit, the wedding outfit, right? my friend that I just married. मेरी शादी हुई है पंजाबी मेरा जो ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੇਰੇ friend ਨਾਲ ਵਿਆਹ Did you see my friend? And then, and the guy looked at me.
So I can see that it takes at least you had a couple of days to realize it was very immediate for us.
Yeah, it was the same day. We lost each other and we were trying to find each other. We couldn't find each other. It was quite, man, the wedding day was interesting. So, all right, now coming to the contrast. So when we were here in Canada, it didn't really matter if you were South
No,
Indian.
I want to talk about the wedding day. You started dancing on your wedding day.
Just a minute, I'll go to the wedding day. Let's go from here, man. Let's move out of Canada. So when I was in Canada, when we had just met, and when we decided, okay, we're gonna get married, and then I mean, living in Canada, you don't really feel any difference, right? Like whether he's South Indian, whether he is South African, it wouldn't really matter to me because we both have a lot in common. We went hiking. We went out, we enjoyed the same foods, we enjoyed similar kind of humor, similar kind of movies. So we had a lot in common. So that never really played the ethnicity never really played a role in anything. Neither did our religion. So, well, he's an atheist, so that never plays in any way. But when we went to India, the wedding day, now you can talk about it. Okay.
No, we talked about it, but what it is you started dancing on your as soon as we came back from Gurdwara. We didn't even eat the food, and there were a tall guy, and your cousin was dancing, and you started dancing with that guy. I didn't know what to do. Is it proper to dance on a wedding day? And the thing is, and then you were going at it, and then for me, like, what do I do there? Like, it's like this was. You had like 30 pounds on you and you were dancing, and that thing was like heavy on me. It's still I couldn't dance. It's like I was, and then I saw your mom trying to get you back down, and it was like, but you were at it, dancing like crazy with the tall guy. It's like I didn't know. I haven't seen any Bollywood movie where the bride goes at it, and then what am I supposed to do here? Here, it's like,
I'm turning red. Oh my god.
and then the tall.
Your entire family danced the night before. We had Sangeet and we danced.
Yeah,
And
but not on the like a wedding day is supposed to be very somber. It's like a very religious, like you are supposed to be all coy and shy and like have a gungat and everything. And your cousin was dancing at that with the tall guy, and you left me and went and had the dance off with your cousin with the tall guy.
I have tears in my eyes. I don't think we've ever talked about
I didn't really know what to do there. Should I go and dance? What would your parent, like your mom was sitting there, and your mom was trying to say something, you were not listening. What am I supposed to do here? I had a stage fright. Should I dance with you? Not that I tried dancing with you, but you were on a different league. Like I was a noob and you was like a pro.
Oh my god. I'm like tears in my eyes right now. I remember that. And then your sister came and joined me.
Yeah, my sister joined me. My sister joined, and then I said, okay. Then I went and joined to sing. It's usually the other way. The guy would go and dance, and the wife was like, "What should the bride like? Should I dance? Not dance? What would the family think?" I'm the one like, "What should I do here? What is the proper etiquette here? Like, should I?"
The roles were reversed from the get-go.
Well, there were no roles, I suppose, but you were.
No.
Yeah, you were. What I remember is you were having a dance off with the toll guy. Like the toll guy was giving you a beat, or you were dancing, and the toll guy was giving a like you were giving a beat with your dance to the toll guy or something like that. That's all I remember. It's like, okay, this is a jugalbandi. I'm not able to try. This is the next level of jugalbandi.
Oh my god. Am I the only one dying here? Oh my god. And then I didn't have my friends in India, so it was my cousin and her friends who I've never met in my life before. That was the first time I'd met them, and there, like on the dance floor, is the first time I'd met these guys. And so my cousin, well, two of my cousins were there, and then their friends were there, and, and then I'm going at it with the. And the Toli knows where to go. And the Toli comes, and all these young college kids, they were all college,
Yeah, yeah,
17, 18-year-olds, and they're full of energy. And then they were there in the hall. Because in India, you go for your lama, you go to Gurdwara, and everyone else stays behind. Only the family comes with you. So you go to Gurdwara and you come back. By the time you come back, everyone who's been behind, they've already eaten, or they have had snacks, or they're either in the process of eating, or I mean, they're full. They're ready to go. They're ready to party. And then when you come back, you haven't eaten like since 6 a.m. in the morning, because there were a lot of rasma and a lot of things that you've been doing. And then you come back to the hall, and then of course I see the dance floor and I have to dance. Like that's what it is. Like I mean,
yeah. But dancing is one thing, and having a jugalbandi with the toll guy is a totally different thing. As a bride on your wedding day, that's like
that's
taking
cool.
it into one step ahead.
That's cool.
Well, that's cool, but that's like taking like, oh, let me go and join my cousin for a like a dance of, yeah, like the, for a
And then,
song,
and
but
the
taking
best
over
part
the dance floor and doing a jugalbandi with the tall guy and testing his limits is something else.
And the best part is you didn't know what to do and you're standing in a far corner. I remember that so vividly. Oh my goodness. And
And
then
you ask me, oh, were you nervous during the wedding day? Like, and I should have asked you, oh, did you see me standing in a corner, not trying to know what to do, like trying embarrassingly watching you dance your head
by
off with the Tony
okay,
guy?
let's get past the dance. So by contrast, in a South Indian wedding, I don't think anyone dances.
No.
It's more of a very serious, solemn occasion,
Yeah.
and where everyone sits and watches the
The religious ceremony. Yeah.
happening on the stage. Is there any dancing at any stage of a South Indian wedding or a Telugu wedding?
In movies, but not in. I haven't seen it, but these days I keep hearing that they do sangeet too. So there is some dancing involved. But the when I was growing up, I haven't. So I can't really say will there be anything. But from what I have seen, I haven't seen many weddings. But I moved away very young, so I don't really haven't seen all. I didn't go to none of my friends' weddings too. So I was here all my life, so I didn't see that. But these days there is some dancing in the weddings, but none of the weddings I have been to is no, I haven't seen it all.
Anusha says she hasn't seen any wedding
Yeah.
or dancing either. So I guess so. Yeah, there's no dancing, the concept of dancing in any Telugu wedding. So your family, I know your sister and your brother-in-law, they had the time of their life. Like
Yeah.
they loved it because it was so different. It was so much fun, and there was a totally special, especially on the dance floor.
Which
Playing.
you did paisa vasool for him for a bit, like whatever your dad paid
Well,
for the
that's
toli,
episode
you
for me.
vasooled the paisa from him.
पूरा काम करवाना. Why would I let him go without a jugalbandi, man? Like, that's not going to happen. Yeah, Rachna, I had a jugalbandi with the toli. So going forward, that was, and then the bidai.
Yeah,
Man, that was the worst.
What?
Because they made me wait for 5 hours because your dad decided they're going to go back the same day, or maybe they were flying back the same day. So I had to wait like 5 hours waiting for them to come. And I was in my like full gear and waited till like 7 p.m.
Wasn't there a toli there?
that would have made the wait easier. I was ready to like change my clothes and put my night clothes on and be like, this will be the first bidai in like night clothes. But I did take off like the dupatta and everything, and I'm like, screw this, screw the pictures, I don't really care at this point. And you guys came, and then my mom was like doing all the rasma and all of that. I'm like, Mom, speed it up, yo, we gotta go.
And the toli is waiting there for the evening toli.
Shush. So she sped up the process, and then we went to the door. Well, this was at our house, and then we got there, and then no one cried because
no.
There was no reason to cry. It's like my mom was like, "Good riddance." Changa hoya gayi. Well, also, and I was coming back like within 5 minutes because we went to the hotel and we dropped your parents off, and we once they left, then we went back to my house. We changed and we went back to my home after we had the I lost my husband, I lost my wife drama for a bit. And then we went back to my parents' house, and so we stayed there that night. No, did we? No, we went back to her. We had dinner and went back. But anyways, we stayed there for a couple of days after that in Ludhiana. So what was that like for you, the experience of?
I don't remember. It's a big whitewashed event in my life. So the only thing which remembers me is two things which stand out, which I talked about. Three things. One, choking and dying at the door. And the other thing is in the lama getting yanked, and the third thing is the dance with the toli. These are the three things. I don't remember anything else. It is vague. It's like a blackout for me. That's No, I don't remember much of it.
What was your was there any shock factor like coming into Punjab? But you've been to North India.
Yeah, so for me, shock factor was going to Dhanbad from Nellore. That's like for me, culturally, I was ready for anything. Once you live in Dhanbad, you can live anywhere in the world. So for me, coming to Canada was like it didn't even feel anything from coming to Canada. For me, there was no cultural shock. For me, I got very well adjusted in Canada. But going to Dhanbad, that was something. Like I'll tell, like as soon as I got into the Dhanbad train, the guy I had a reservation. The guy you came and said,
And I was reminding you that I also called you cheap. You missed
yeah,
out.
yeah, that's right. She also called me cheap when I was dying. You are you die really cheap. You should have spent a lot of money before dying.
All right. So Dhanbad story.
Yeah. So
What does Dhanbad story have to do with our
no,
wedding?
but what I'm trying to say is that I was sitting in a train with seat reserved for me. A guy comes and said, move. It was a night train, so I had to sleep. That whole berth was mine. He said, "Get up, sit." I said, "Why? Why should I sit?" And then he had a gun with him. That's the first time I saw a gun. Sure, you can lay down here. I'll go and sit by the toilet. So after that, for me, I can after living in Dhanbad, I can for me nothing really. I got culturally sensitive for every culture after that.
You told me you slept on Howrah station under like the
Yeah,
seats
the
there.
lights, and you could smell pee all night, and I've lived my life properly.
And then you come to Punjab with the in a big hotel and
Yeah, wow. Who are these? Who these guys always slept on the muddy floors? They come to Punjab. They have never seen a hotel, a building. How can these South Indians don't even have buildings, hotels? Only in Punjabis we have hotels, buildings.
you come to Punjab and you
You
see
come to
what life is all
Punjab and you come to a hotel. Have you ever guys been to a hotel where you sleep on a bed? I thought you slept on platforms on train stations. You
South Indians.
these South Indians.
And my mom, I remember, was so worried about what she was going to feed your family, like when they came to Punjab. Like, I don't recall now what happened. Maybe I should call my mom to find the real story.
There was a in the hotel. The reason we
Yeah,
stayed in the hotel was there was a South Indian restaurant
yeah.
attached to that hotel.
Yeah, now I know. So we picked that hotel because there was a South Indian restaurant in that hotel, and that's where family had food.
Yeah.
They had lunch there, or yeah, they had there. And then, of course, at the wedding there were dosas as well. There was a variety of
I don't
food.
remember eating any food there. You never let me eat any food. For the lunch, you were doing the dance with Toli. The second, for the dinner, you did something else. So I don't remember. I was hungry all the time. I just ate my adrenaline. That's all I did. I survived on adrenaline.
All right. Okay, now coming to the shock factors. Okay, the truth bombs coming up. So when your family arrived, your mom was in a beautiful sari, beautifully dressed, and so was the rest of the women in your family. But the men, they had chappals. They were
Yeah.
all wearing chappals, and
It was
that
summer. Why would you wear shoes when it's 40 degrees?
it wasn't 40 degrees,
Yeah,
but
30, 35, 35.5. So
no, it wasn't 35.5. Anyways, I'm not going to discuss that. But anyways, everyone wore chappals and everyone wore sandals. And Anush is asking what was the reaction of my family. So my family came to me repeatedly. Oh, are they going to change? Or are they going to come to the wedding in chappals? So that was my family's reaction to me. And I went to Pavan. I'm like, is anyone wearing chappals? Because I don't know. I hadn't seen them, right? So I'm like,
no
yo,
one, no one. I don't know. Like lot of people in Nellore, they don't own pair of shoes. There is no concept of there is no shoes.
that's the culture shock what I'm talking about. Is
Yeah,
that
well,
culturally that's so different. It was so new for us
in
that
Dhanbad, no South Indian student came to Dhanbad with shoes. That was the first thing with when you are as a South Indian student in Dhanbad, the seniors will make you go and buy shoes. There is no.
Yeah, so coming back to it, like that was a culture shock for all of us. It's like, okay, it's a wedding. Yeah, maybe you wear chappal staple, like Anusha says, it's a staple. Yeah, you wear chappal in your day to day, but perhaps you wear shoes when you come to a wedding.
No,
Perhaps you wear a suit when you come to a wedding,
yeah,
but that's
that's
not the case.
no.
We come to the wedding in chappal as well. Like it blows my mind. It's
Well, in a tropical country, you don't wear woolen socks and leather shoes, right? So
well, you can justify any which way you want, but that's the culture shock.
if you go to Pacific Islanders don't even wear
Yeah, whatever.
chappal.
But
Yeah,
whatever. But that's the culture shock, right? So that was like first thing. Like the biggest thing was, okay, all right, so this is it then. So we're gonna, yeah. And then none of actually a lot of people in our wedding were not really family, or we had some family, but majority of people that came there was like people from my dad's pind or my mom's pind, because we needed to fill the hall and we didn't have a lot of people, so we got people we didn't even know. Like, well, I didn't know anyone at my wedding other than the 11 people that Pavan's family had, and maybe 11 people that my cousins and my, I had 2 cousins, and then my nanny and mamaji guys, they came. So it was like maybe 20 of our family, my family, and then 11 of your family. That was about it. Other than that, I didn't know anyone else. So there was that fear of judgment from everybody. Oh, Roop's in-laws are in chappals. So did Pavan wear chappal to the wedding? He wouldn't be married if that
no, I
happened.
think well, there was that for the morning part. I still have that Punjabi juti, right? That's
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Pavan was entirely dressed in everything Punjabi. He had an achkan, he had a Punjabi jutti. I wish I'd put up pictures. Maybe I'll find pictures later and put them. But yeah, no, he was fully dressed in Punjabi. He was fully immersed. He was ready for everything. So he's like, I'll wear a
yeah.
turban.
I was dressed by a professional. So what can I say?
Yeah, he was wearing a turban. He was good for anything. And then so that happened, and then we went to Nellore after that, like after the Punjab expedition.
Mm.
So then we went to Nellore, which is in Andhra Pradesh, which is like heart of Andhra Pradesh, like
No,
literally
well, it is the southern part of Andhra
interior.
Pradesh. It's more of Tamil Nadu than it's Andhra
It's
Pradesh.
on the border, yeah. So, but it's
Mm.
interiors. It's not Hyderabad. It's not
No.
metropolitan by any means. Like it's a
Well,
very
it is kind of Switzerland of India.
all right, because we lived there. So we went there, and I was really excited because all my life I grew up watching Thunder Down Under, and that was my idea of South India. So I watched a lot of South Indian movies. Thunder Down Under is a name for, like, it's like a chitrahar of South Indian songs. So I grew up watching them. I really liked it, and so my idea of South India was what I saw in Roja, or those big South Indian movies that we watched. And I'm trying to think of a name, like really green, really lush. That's what Mani Ratnam shows us. And so we went there. First thing that I found was really cool was that the soil was red.
Mm.
The soil was red. That was my first I guess the first thing that I reacted to was like, wow, oh my goodness, I've never seen red soil. So that was kind of neat. And then lots of palm trees.
Yeah.
And also the humidity, because it's so close to the ocean, and the humidity that you feel, because we landed in Chennai and then we drove to Nellore. So that was that comes immediately after it, and the palm trees. And what I felt immediately was, and of course, the smell of jasmine. Oh my goodness,
Mm.
that's everywhere. The smell of jasmine is very overpowering. Um, a smell of oil as well. And what I felt was, okay, now again, culture shock is like, you come there, you land in Chennai, and when you walk your way outwards, what I felt was like everybody's in their sleepwear. Like everyone's in chappals and everyone's in their, like, they're not really dressed.
You're not dressed for 0 degrees centigrade when you're 40 degrees centigrade. Yeah, that's that's strange.
But
People
that
who
was like
live in
a felt.
humidity are not wearing their woolens. Yeah, that's very
Okay, I'm
strange.
talking about culture shock, okay? Let's not try justifying anything. So you
Just
you had You had your opportunity. You could have said anything about Punjab, but you didn't. So I'm going to say it.
So
So
I liked it. So what's the it for me?
no,
It
I
didn't
liked
feel.
it too. I liked
Yeah.
it too. I'm not going to say I didn't like it, but what I'm just telling you like what my experiences were. Like you could have explained your experiences. You could have described your experiences. I saw the green lush fields and I was completely mesmerized that this is the beauty
Yeah,
that
I
I
was the
wanted.
Shah Rukh Khan in the yellow, like
Yeah, the
that fields were
sunflower
playing
field.
mandolin.
Yeah. Yeah, you should have. You had your chance, but it's done. You're done with it. All right. So then we drove to Nellore, and then which was nice. But I was expecting like a big grand reception, and I went there, and there was like it was dark, and nobody did anything. So that was my first disappointment. And I'm talking about it publicly. So that was like yeah, so they weren't really looking forward to us coming or anyways, so that happened. But apparently like because see, I come from a culture where everything is pomp and show, right? Everything is loud, everything is tall, everything is like dancing.
Oh, you wanted to a toli so you could have a
Yeah,
dance off. You could have a
yeah,
dance off.
I was expecting like a big party, like there'll be a dolly and there'll be, but it was like so calm and so serene. I was your mom, like she did puja, like everything was, very calm
Yeah, well, we don't
and
have tolis. What
the way
we
that a family talks to each other, it's so calm and quiet and so much at ease, like compared to like us. Our normal conversation is like we're fighting with each other all the time, right? So that was like starkly different for me. It's like, oh my god, like how is so everyone's so chill, like so stoic. There's no emotional outbursts of anything, neither anger, neither happiness, neither sadness. It's just like very status quo.
our society as a whole has reached the state of flow. We are.
Nirvana. Literally, like that was the first like reaction there. It's like, why is it everything so calm and like no one is like, and here I am. Oh my god, I'm here. I'm in Andhra Pradesh. Whoa! Like I'm jumping up and down, and then all of a sudden, like there's this.
You were expecting a Chennai Express sort of a dance of lungi dance, lungi
Yeah,
dance, lungi dance.
Lungi dance, right? Like something, some excitement, but no, none of that. All right, so I thought maybe there'll be a party tomorrow because there is like that Satyanarayan Puja. So I think, oh, maybe there'll be an after party there. All right, so Satyanarayan Puja starts. I'm made to sit in this puja, which is, I mean, it was really, really, I enjoyed the whole process because it's something new, it's something different. I really liked it. And I loved how your parents set it up, and it was so nice. And everybody was there. It was lovely. And so I sit in it. So, like, Pavan was not used to the Sikh tradition. Like, I never sat in a puja. So, when you sit in a puja, there's a lot of smoke. And that smoke you have to breathe in because you're sitting there, like you
Yeah,
can't run away from it.
it gets very suffocating.
Yeah, so you have to breathe. I didn't know that. So I'm sitting there, like that was something new for me. And I wanting to cough, I'm wanting to like run away, but I'm sitting there with a smile on my face because of course there's so many people around you. Your parents are there, your family's there, and everyone's like looking at you with love and whatever. And then you're just sitting there but that was something new for me. You didn't prepare me for that. So I sat there and then I'm like, okay, maybe I'll get some money now because everyone's getting ready to give you money because that's what happens in a Punjabi wedding. So everyone gives you like $100, $200, right? So I'm sitting there, and the next thing you know, I'm starting to get blessings. Like all these women are coming and giving me stuff, and guess what they're giving me? Blouse pieces and a banana. And I'm like, what am I going to do with blouse pieces? One, what am I going to do with this like 100 bananas now? And
There are monkeys around. There are monkeys around the house. You can feed the monkeys.
which is what we did. But anyway, but it was really sweet. Again, I'm not mocking this at all, but again, I'm just being very honest with my reactions. It's like, okay, I'm expecting money, and all of a sudden, like I'm getting bananas and blouse pieces. Again, that was something different. I've never seen that ever happen. And then I had to go change the sari in the middle of the puja. That was a big seppa for me because me wearing a sari is something that, I mean, I've never done that in my life. I don't know how to pleat. I don't know what to do. So they told me to go change my sari. So I go inside and I'm there for 3 hours. And then everyone's knocking on my door because I'm in there. I don't know what I'm doing. And then my sister-in-law offers to come and help me with it. But luckily I had done it by then. But it took me like 3 hours, which your mom does 5 minutes. So they probably are sitting outside judging me.
No one is judging you.
Well, they're probably, not judging me. Oh, yeah, judging too. But they're probably thinking, damag kudi da, like in Telugu, like, why so slow? What's going on? But yeah, so that was another cultural thing for me. I didn't know how to wear a sari, and I was required to wear a sari. I could not sit in that ceremony with the suit. So I was required to wear a sari, and I didn't know how to wear a sari. And I didn't have anyone there to help me wear a sari until like your sister-in-law offered. And I felt awkward asking too. And of course, they didn't know either. Right? Like for them, it's new as well. They don't know that I don't know. So it was that was one of my most interesting moments. I think we talked quite a bit already.
Yeah, it's 45 minutes. I think we should have a stage 2, like a episode 2 of this sometime later.
Next week we should do episode 2, like follow it up.
Yeah.
With another. Yeah. But I'll wrap up the wedding part. So that was what my first experience of Andhra was. But I really enjoyed my stay there. It was very laid back because it is in the outskirts. It's not really in Nellore. It's in the outskirts of Nellore. So it's like a pind and a lot of farmland around. And you can feel the sea breeze, literally. And there is coconut trees, which I found that was really cool. That was another really cool thing is a lot of houses have coconut trees that are right besides the house. So you can be on the rooftop and you can pluck the coconut. So you don't have to climb the tree. So that was neat. I haven't seen that in Punjab ever, or in Canada, you live indoors. So so that was another neat thing that you could just pluck coconuts. So that was neat. And I don't have any fun stories. There's nothing fun in Andhra Pradesh.
Oh, very good. I'm funny enough for that. So
you're sinking, getting lower and lower and lower. All right. Yeah, you're funny enough. I think we had to compensate for the lackluster. I mean, I don't know why it's not like the movies, like, Bamadika.
Yeah, well, we will do it again with the movie Dhamaka next time.
Yeah, I like the language. It's called the Italian of the East.
Telugu. Yeah, Telugu is Italian of the East.
I like the language a lot. So that was another cool thing. Do you want to add something? You have 2 minutes.
No, I'm good. I enjoyed the whole thing. What are you looking at?
I'm waiting for something. What was this? Oh, good. Okay. All right. Pavan is done. He's exhausted. Yeah. He needs some energy. He needs some food in him. All right. We'll do part 2 next time. We'll talk more about, what are we going to talk about? Other culture shocks, the dosas, the rotis, the sambar.
We can talk about the food next time. Yeah.
Food, yeah. Oh man, the Andhra food is the best. And when you mix it up with Punjabi, our daughter's favorite food is dosa with dal and roti with sambar. I don't know. That's what it is. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone who joined today. I don't know why Pavan is in a very somber mood now. I think he's.
No, I'm not.
The Andhra spirit has taken him over.
I was Punjabi when we were Punjab. I'm an Andhra when I'm in Andhra story. I'm playing my part.
The calm, the cool, the collected. Oh, talking about chappals, I have another chappal story, and then we'll end it for sure. So when we were there, of course, when you're in India, you always get belly belly. Something happens to your stomach, right? And then you have to go to the doctor, and you have to get meds for infection. So we were there. I think it was the year after we got married. We got there, and then my stomach wasn't well, and we went to a hospital. Remember? So we went to a hospital. It was a gastroenterologist, and he was like one of the top gastroenterologists in Nellore. And he was very kind. But before that, when we got into his office, so they seated us. An office assistant came and took us in. We sat there, and he was not in his chair. He was standing to the side, but he was wearing chappal. And it was like not even like the sandal. He was wearing bathroom chappal. And when he was wearing the bathroom chappal, I looked at him and I said, "Oh, when is the doctor coming in?" Like I asked him that in Hindi. And he turned around and he's like, "Oh, I am the doctor. Nice to meet you." And I'm like, "Huh? A doctor bhi chappal pake onda?" Like it was just one of the chappal stories. And then he was really kind and he was really sweet, very humble, very nice. And he really helped us, with a lot of care and attention. And but yeah, he was wearing chappal. All right, I think we're done for the day because I don't know, man. You're not giving me any reaction. This is not.
Oh, I really don't know what to say about the chapel. You have been on the chapel for a long time. There is nothing to add to the chapel. You said, well, if I say anything, there's
All
nothing
right.
to say about chapel. The
All
chapel.
all right. No reaction, Pavan. We'll talk to you later. Have a good night, everyone. We'll be back next Thursday and we'll chat more about our more stories, hopefully.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.